should let me love you forever, forever. I wanna love you. Will you let me love you forever, forever and day, 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 day.
Happy Canada Day. Happy July 1st. All my Canadians. Oh, Canada.
Oh, Canada.
Go on. What's the rest of it?
Oh, Canada. Oh, Canada. You know how he's singing it around.
Yes. Welcome to TMW Online, the Melanated Way. I am Linda. That is Abby, the de facto Canadian who is celebrating with me. What up, midwife and silver linings? We got like the OGs up in the building today. Welcome. We're covering all things 90 Day Fiance, the originals, just like the OGs are in the live chat.
Yes.
Season 12, episode 6, When Two Worlds Collide. Abby, I'm going to let you start us off. What were your overall thoughts and what was something that stood out to you for this episode?
What stood out to me is that when I heard the title, I thought about that Adele song, When Two Worlds Collide. And I thought it was the perfect title for this episode because we've got Alabama clashing with Turkey. We've got Kentucky clashing with the Philippines. These are worlds apart colliding.
Girl, you did that. You know, I'm wrapped up in all the FIFA World Cup stuff. Go Canada. We're doing really good. Top 16. Solid. But you did that definitely in World Cup voice. I love it. I love it. Hey, Becca. Hey, girl. Hey. Okay. Yeah, my overall thoughts is this season is a hot mess, and I'm all here for it. We're going to start with Katie and Josh. Dear Katie, I just there's a lot going on with you, and I appreciate that you're allowing us a peek into the world that you live in. But I'm going to reiterate that we really need to talk about your drinking. We do. We need to talk about your drinking, and we need to talk about the selfish behavior. We need to talk about that disgusting twin mattress and the fact that you think that it's okay to eat just on the floor and not like a picnic on the floor just because you don't want to buy furniture and you feel like it's comfortable there. Because you guys already know that I already know, looking at her mattress, that she does not take off her shoes in the house. So the shoes that are outside are now where her plate and her food and her fork and her... Okay.
It's really odd to me that her OCD would allow her to live this way.
That part. Katie, just be single. We got a lot to cover. These people are crazies. Yeah. Hey, Kendall. So, they pan in, and what I love about this season as well, Abby, is that production is just as messy as the cast members. So they pan in, and we see a mess in the move-in. They have 87 days to wed, and there's just junk everywhere. And if you guys remember, what all Katie did was she brought over all her junk from her storage, wouldn't let Josh come to storage because she knew it was nasty in there, but just brought all the nasty stuff and popped it in, and just it's all strewn all across the floor. And now they're trying to like wake up and make breakfast and go in boxes and do all the things, and it's a mess. Trixie, are you guys English? I am from Canada, but I could pretend that I'm English. Trixie?
What would you like to talk about today, darling? Top of the morning to you, governor.
Top of the morning to ya. Hey, Joslo. Okay, so I don't know where Katie went, but she was out of the house. She had pizza for breakfast. Josh doesn't understand that. She wants to do like pizza and chips for breakfast, but it's understandable. And he even said it, if you're hungover. And because she drinks every day like a fish, she's always hungover. So that's going to make sense to her, because it made sense to me when, as soon as he said it, I was like, oh, she's soaking up the alcohol from the night before.
Exactly.
Versus he wants to do like eggs and spinach for breakfast. So he does a whole thing with the limited tools that he has, and he makes breakfast for the both of them. They sit on the floor and have the breakfast while they're discussing how his back hurts because, yes, you slept on a twin bed, 2 grown adults, and the garage door. So remember, you go, Katie, she rented or leased this place for 12 months without looking at it. She saw a virtual tour, but she didn't go there. And I just don't, how do you do that? Like, yes, say, oh, this is my top 2, but you got to go look at it, because now they're stuck. He's not going to sleep. They're in like this weird little dungeon room that has no windows. It's just all cement everywhere. But here we are.
I did want to say something really quickly because I thought this was funny. I was not used to apartments being furnished. And Josh says that's something that he hadn't anticipated. When I went to Mexico and my apartment was furnished, I was like, oh my God, I've struck gold. I'm so lucky. I did not know that that was like standard in other places.
It's standard. Hold on, sorry. Oops.
Did you guys know that? Live chat, did you know that there are a lot of other countries in the world where when you rent an apartment, getting like basic furnishings for that apartment is standard? Because my first apartment was the apartment that my job provided. And then my second apartment was also furnished. And they expect you to take care of those things and leave them there when you move out.
Carry on for 1 second.
Yeah. So that was really interesting to me that happened. Now, Josh goes on to say that there's a few things that he wants in the apartment. Katie does not think that they're necessary. What do you think? So here's what he wants: an ironing board, dining table, and chairs. I think these are pretty basic things that he's asking for, but do you agree or disagree that these are necessary to function? At least the dining table and chairs, because I know a lot of people just put their clothes in the dryer if they want to get the wrinkles out. But I think at least having those is pretty normal. Now, Katie did say something here. Like, I thought all the blame is on Josh for the way that this relationship is, on Katie for the way this relationship is going. But there was an exchange that made me feel differently. Actually, I'll wait till Linda comes back to talk about that one. But let's see what you said. You guys, I don't have access from my iPad to pull your comments up on the screen, but I'm going to read them from my phone. So, as a world traveler, this is Becca. As a world traveler, it wasn't like Katie brought that bed with her, so I was surprised. She was surprised. That's true. She knows what she left it like. And then Becca also said she's not worried during this time, so I don't know why she's so grumpy. Because she's hungover. That's why she's grumpy, because she's hungover. So Linda, I asked the question, of the things that Josh wanted, what do you think is necessary or unnecessary? The ironing board, dining table, and chairs for the dining table. What's necessary and what's not necessary? Oh, you're still on mute.
He needs a dining table and chairs because he has a bad back, and that would just be comfort for him. And then if you want him to eventually get a job and be out there, if it makes your partner feel comfortable to be stiff and iron board and all of that, that's what he's used to, then those are the 2 things that are absolute that he should get immediately.
Right. I agree. And it's not that expensive. She was complaining before talking about the price. These are not things that are super expensive. The thing I wanted to talk about when you came back was there is an exchange that happens between them that made me shift some of the blame from Katie to Josh. And it happened in the car. So should we talk about anything before they got in the car first?
So I know you guys talked about the essentials and what's nice to have versus not nice to have, unfurnished homes versus furnished homes, eating on the floor versus not eating on the floor. You covered all that, so I'll skip past that. But one of the things I think is interesting is that she is so stuck on getting things for free. And I think that that's great if you can manage to do that, which also means oftentimes it's going to be secondhand. And I think that that's a discussion you have to have with your partner. Like, uh, there are certain things that I absolutely will not have secondhand in my place. And I'm just a weirdo like that. And I mean, I know you guys are not surprised.
Nobody is surprised. Yeah.
But, you know, that's something you should talk to your partner about because maybe they feel the same way. I don't know. But what I wanted to ask you, Abby, from an attorney perspective, and I apologize if you already covered this, but it was a question that I promised to get answered. And it was also something that came up again this episode. She doesn't want to spend money because she's not working right now. And he can't work, obviously, for the next, I'm going to say at least 6 months. So how is it that she was able to get him over here? Because in the same breath, what we heard in the conversations was that he paid for all the immigration stuff.
Mm-hmm. She probably had a joint sponsor to be able to show that she could support him. So you can have, it could be a relative or a non-relative. The person can have status. And they can, as long as they provide their tax records for 3 years or proof of income, then they can be your joint sponsor. So that's most likely what she had. In other situations, you can use your assets also to prove that you can support your immigrant spouse. So if somebody owns a house, or if they own some property, or if they have a lot of stocks and bonds. We haven't really met any Katie's family. We've met her friends. So for all we know, she's a trust fund kid.
Well,
Some of them are still frugal like that too.
It must be something like that, because the other thing I was going to ask you is that she doesn't have any like permanent roots for the last 3 years. Remember, she's been a hobo for the last 3 years, traveling around. So even Becca's like, and how does she get the apartment? Don't you need proof of income? So between the apartment, between the immigration and not working, and quite honestly, like where's she gonna work, y'all? What kind of job can you see her doing? Because she drinks every single day.
Yeah. So there are some apartments that will let you get in with the amount of money that you have in your savings, as opposed to having proof of income coming in. I tend to think that she might just be one of those people who comes from a wealthy family, but for whatever reason, they pretend like they don't.
I think a lot of people are not going to know this, but Jocelyn, I appreciate this. She's like, I watch HGTV, and in Europe, a lot of furnished apartments. I wanted Josh to call The Brick, which is a major furniture company in Canada, and get a bed delivered that night, which they can do. I was so mad I could feel his back pain.
Man, that's awesome. You can get a bed delivered in one night.
Yeah, you can.
Nice. Okay, Brick.
Okay, so I'm glad we covered that, because it is confusing to me that she's not working, he can't work, and now they're in this apartment. There's 12-month lease. He did say that he saved up about 2,000 pounds, which is probably right now, you guys, it's probably like 38 to 39 $3,900 US right now. So it's quite a bit of money that he set aside for his moving expenses. So why was that not a conversation that you guys had? Like, what do you guys, what are we going to need in this apartment? What should I be saving for? Because this took time. Now, she's not having it. She doesn't want to spend any money. And here's the first dig that I thought, oh, there's going to be a problem here. She calls him the house husband and wants him to figure out how to get some furniture without spending her money. What were your thoughts on that?
My first thought was, is this a conversation that they had previously? And so it's not derogatory, because the way that it came out to me was derogatory. But if they've had some prior conversation where he said, oh, I'll just be the house husband for 6 months while I'm waiting for my work permit and my residency, then fine. It's not rude and slanderous. But outside of that context, I thought it was really rude.
It was really rude, and it was exactly what you thought it was. They have had no conversations about it, because what does happen after this is that she starts to feel resentment and tells him, she's like, I've been driving you everywhere. I do everything. And this is something that we don't talk about, you guys. We don't talk about those 90 days. Those 90 days when you are bringing your immigrant fiance over, yeah, you're going to do all the things because guess what? They can't. And you
Right.
can't hold it against them. He
Mm-hmm.
can't drive. He literally just got there. He can't drive. He has to go through all the stuff that they left behind being established grown adults. They have to redo in America, down to having to go and do a driver's license and get that and do the test because those things don't equate. Even like down to like your education, you got to make sure all that stuff transfers over so that you can prove it, so that you can get an equivalent job and not just like any type of job, which you probably will have to start off with because times are crazy and you
Mm-hmm.
don't have any references that people like. It's a lot. So for
Mm-hmm.
you to start resenting knowing that this is what you were coming into is quite crazy to me.
Right.
He says that he's been doing all the immigration stuff and paying for it. And this is where I was like, they're in trouble. She said, well, that was your idea and I wasn't ready for it.
That is exactly what happened. My mind shifted in that moment, especially because his response was, well, you agreed. Like, how lackluster to push forward with a relationship with that on the table. Like, that is not an enthusiastic participation in the relationship. And that made me rethink. I tend to think that when people come from certain countries, there can't be there's a really low chance of farce behind it because you could come here on your own. You can visit the US whenever you want to. You can apply for jobs, and it's not that difficult for you to immigrate. But this segment made me feel very differently. What is forcing him, or why is he forcing this relationship with Katie if she's not enthusiastically wanting it and he's paying his own money for it? That is odd.
That's the part I don't understand. There's something going on here that we don't know. Because you had mentioned that he could come on a visitor's visa. So if it was just about coming to America, they'd come to America. But what is it about this relationship where she can't even commit to you physically, nor does she want to commit to you financially? Tells you that she doesn't trust you with her finances, which, you guys, now that I say that, this girl doesn't have a job. She definitely has to be a trust fund baby because she's talking like a trust fund baby. I don't trust you with my money. What is it? Is it great sex? Because, that's not going to be enough eventually because she's going to go sleep with someone else because she is going to say she's drunk and she wanted to kiss the person. She wanted the attention, all of those things. So I'm not sure where this couple is going, but it is a mess. Becca says, the most hilarious comment I saw was that Mallory should show Rosita Katie so he can understand white girl ways. That is a good one. Anything else you want to add before I move on with these two?
No, that's all I have for Katie and Josh.
Speaking of Rosita and Mallory and the Redneck for Life / white trash party is still going on. And Rosita is telling Brandon that I have a problem with you. I need you to stop calling my fiance and stop being friends with her immediately and lose her number because in my culture, it's not good. You are crossing a boundary and we don't do that in my culture. We don't do exes as friends. What are your overall thoughts on all of that, Abby?
Rosita was wrong. He's wrong to approach Brandon about any of this. Brandon is not a part of your relationship, as you're saying to him. Your relationship is with Mallory. This conversation is with Mallory. So that's it. Like, there was nothing appropriate about his approach to Brandon, sitting on his tailgate, what he said to him. Nothing was appropriate about it.
Nope. You guys are ahead of us. There's some spoilers that are in the live chat. I'm not going to pop them up. And hey, Rodella, because we're not there yet, but woo, it's getting juicy, hot in here. So yeah, Rosita's absolutely in the wrong, and what you're not about to do is tell a grown person who they can and cannot be friends with. That's what you're not about to do, especially on your day two. Like you sound crazy. You sound crazy. And I do think that even though he's saying it's a cultural thing, it seems like it's more male egotistical thing, and a receipt problem specifically. And I do think that power and control is a part of it, and part of him trying to assert some power back is saying, I'm going to be the dominant one now that I'm here, because he can't work, he can't drive, he's not with friends and family, he's not the provider and all the things that he's, traditionally male thinking that he should be. But he's going about it the wrong way. Period.
Correct.
Period and full stop. So, Brandon says, you know what? I'm one of her close friends. Rosita doubles down, says, I don't want you to call her or text. I don't want you to call my fiance. I don't want you to text my fiance. Delete her number. He doubles down. And this was my favorite part. Brandon, I'll do it with this. Brandon had his cup of whiskey. So just think dark liquor in here. He looked at him. See all that silence? That's what he did. And then said, no, I'm not doing that.
As if he was even thinking about it.
Nope, not at all. Receipt says he's a boss in my house and she must listen to me. And again, you guys, there has been 0.0 communication between Mallory and Rosita as far as I'm concerned. They haven't talked about babies. They clearly haven't talked about the dynamics of their relationships. And the fact that he is saying all this stuff about, this is my house, I'm the boss, she has to listen to me. Excuse me? I get that it's your house because it's going to be your house together. But if you want to be technical, your name is nowhere on that title. It's her house. Right. And she can easily say to you within these 90 days, yeah, we're not doing this. Get out of my house. And you would have to go. So for you to be just throwing all this power around and then turn around and say to the woman who was the one that actually bought the house, the one that's going to actually be working and driving you around, that she has to just stay and listen to you. I'm just trying to make it make sense. Does it make sense to anyone?
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You guys, this is a situation where it would have been so much more beneficial to him to just befriend Brandon. Endear yourself. Get to know him. Thank him for being there for Mallory when she had the car accident. Just get to know everyone and be gracious.
Yeah. How about take a beat? Take a beat and see how it all sorts itself out before you start laying down the law. And then if you're in the South, which is something that I didn't know, I wouldn't do because I just don't touch people's property, but you don't just sit on people's tailgate. It's considered rude. And so that's what Brandon says. Brandon says these two things. He says, here are two things that are true. Me and taxes were here forever, and you need to get the TF off my tailgate. That was his response to it. So I don't think that this is going to go very well. I do think that we're going to see a little bit more of this whole redneck versus turkey domination, male ego, alpha male, testosterone stuff. We're going to see a lot of that back and forth, because what we're seeing in my opinion, Abby, is we're seeing in the redneck version of Brandon too. It's very testosterone filled.
Yes, very much. Trying to assert dominance as opposed to have real leadership. That's where a lot of men mess up, just in general. kind of off topic, a lot of men mess up by assuming that leadership is asserting dominance. It's not.
Mm-hmm. Great. Totally agree. Silver Lining saying, pretty sure Brandon made that up. Lived in the South in some pretty rural areas and never heard of that tailgate stuff.
I've very much heard that. Not just like don't be on somebody's tailgate, but just don't touch somebody's truck, period. Like their
Yeah.
truck is an extension of their person. And I mean, the fact that he was on there swinging his legs back and forth, I mean, just come on, just look at the situation.
Yeah, read the room. Read the
Yeah.
room. And I believe it. And if any of our viewers, if you're from the South, live in the South, they're in the South, have a truck, tell us. Can people sit on your tailgate without asking? Can they touch your truck without asking? I'm very curious. Let us know. Anything else to add before I move on to Mito and Debbie?
Let's go, Mito and Debbie.
Okay, I just want to say for the record, if you're new here, I can't have my feelings. I don't like Mito, and how I'm going to do this recap of them is probably going to show. I'm not sure what is going on here. Debbie should have kicked him out a long time ago. I don't understand this whole situation, period, full stop. And the fact that he is using the TLC 90 Day Fiance specifically platform to actually push forward his acting career is quite genius, to be honest, but like I just don't see the talent. And for him to have the attitude and disgusting behavior that he has really pisses me off. That being said, they have 73 days to get married, and Debbie is having a honey to-do list made, and he doesn't want to do anything. He doesn't want to do any chores, no dishes, no trash. He says instead he'll like to sleep, and that's about it. And what I hated about this, Abby, is that she didn't respond back to that. And what I encourage you guys to do, like you guys, what I think is important is you discuss what you want out of a relationship. And what I think is important is that you don't let anyone dismiss what is important to you in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So if this was me, first of all, it wouldn't be me. I wouldn't have to do a list. If you're going to be like the man, then and you want to take that role, then go ahead and know that those are your manly roles. If I have to mention, hey, oh, by the way, grab the trash, I'm only going to mention it 1 or 2 times. After that, that's your role. That's what you're going to do. But I shouldn't have to. And in any of the relationships that I've ever been in, I haven't had to, because like that's just what you're going to do. So had this been me, though, and I said, oh, what would you want to do, the dishes or the trash? And this person said, no, I'll sleep. Then I would say, no, let's sit down and we're going to discuss how we maintain this apartment. Because the apartment's going to not maintain itself. And we should discuss how I'll be off to work. You're going to have a lot of free time. So during these 90 days and beyond, while I'm working, I'm going to need you to pick up the slack and have that whole conversation, because you need to have the conversation. You can't just not talk about it. These people who stop talking about stuff and think it's just going to miraculously go away, it's fascinating. It's going to keep coming back. It's everywhere you are, there your problems are until you address them and move past them. You can't just stop talking about them and think, they're gone.
Okay. I mean, a little bit of what you said is not quite true, because I don't even think that if someone told you that they were going to do neither, they were going to sleep, I don't even think you'd continue that conversation. I think you would just be done. Like, get out of my apartment.
Oh, because it would never be me. It would never. No.
Like we're not playing that game.
Nope.
I don't even do that with my child.
Midwife K says, I'm sorry, Mito is one of the girls, and this is just a means to an end. I don't care.
I mean, it is. And like, I understand because you don't like him, you don't see the talent, but there are certain people who come into the 90-day world and they have an agenda. Sometimes that agenda does include the person they're in the relationship with, and sometimes it doesn't. And I cannot help but respect people who have like a long-term plan. And you do have to have some ego about yourself to survive certain industries, right? So yes, he's using Debbie, right? He's using Debbie, right? But his long-term plan is, oh, I want to be in acting. Miona, okay? Was she truly in a relationship for Jabri? Maybe. But she also had a lot. I'm going to go on the show and wear a high ponytail every single day. And when the show's over, I'm going to sell ponytails. Like, I cannot not respect someone that doesn't have an angle.
Okay, I agree. I agree with what you're saying. Use it as a stepping stone and a platform. And it's not just in the TLC realm. It's in the Bravo realm. It's Lifetime realm. It's everywhere realm. Like, do it. That's what it's for. What I don't think is going on here, and yes, I do not like him. I don't think he's talented. I don't think he's talented, and I think his attitude is terrible. You have to, if you're gonna catapult your career or whatever it is that you think is gonna be your next thing, at least be good at it. At least be good at it. Because what I've been seeing, he said he has 20 credits in Egypt. I don't believe it. So they're fighting. He is basically saying back in Egypt, the wife takes care of the house, and if we're gonna be logistical like that, technically she's not your wife yet, so there's that. He can't do any chores, but he was able to find an acting coach named Jimmy, and he literally said that his number one priority is his acting career. Not his wife, not his future wife, not Debbie, not anything that has to do with Debbie, his acting career. And he's been there for 2 minutes, has found an acting coach. He has a pillow fortress around him. He is not trying to do anything. He's trying to just go to acting classes and become a Hollywood superstar. Yeah, so he said that he's done 20 series in Egypt, and I just don't believe it. I just don't believe it, you guys. As a worldly person, I just don't believe it. Show me where it is. We are living in technology 2.0. So somewhere there's got to be these 20 series, films, short films. What I need to see it. And instead of posting you driving a U-Haul truck, post a clip of a show you're on. Do that. And let's see what that's about. Okay?
Yeah.
In the meantime, he's in this class with Jimmy and has the audacity to say, instead of doing the scene that he's assigned, that he wants to do something different. Jimmy takes offense to that and says, acting really is about ability, cooperation, and opportunity, and not all three things always meet at the same time. And not everyone who wants to be an actor becomes a Hollywood superstar. So you have to figure out what else you're going to do in the meantime. And he said, that being said, take this like I'm the director and do the scene, or like get out of here, basically. And so Mito does the scene. And what did you think of the scene? How do you feel he did?
I thought that, he brought some emotion to it. And if I was seeing him without knowing that he's a despicable person, it would be fine.
Midwife Krista says, right? Because even if we don't know the language, you can tell if it's a good actor or not. Show us the acting receipts. 100%. Listen, you guys, I watch Japanese like love romances on a regular, and
yeah, I love to watch a Korean horror movie.
Yep.
And
not. Yep. Silver Lining says Abby ... trying to be kind.
I'm just saying, he did slow it down, so he did give it something different than what the clips that we saw of other people. It kind of reminded me though of if you guys ever watched The Office, when Michael Scott would go to those improv classes and everybody hated being his improv partner.
I haven't seen it, but I'm sure it was hilarious because The Office has such great cult following. Jimmy the coach said he would give his scene a C plus. Good on the emotional availability, but he needs to be coachable, and that transfers over also into his relationship. He needs to be coachable because, y'all, he's 41. I just want to remind you, he's not in his 20s. He's not even in his 30s. This fool is 41 years old, and he is acting like the biggest baby and not wanting to do anything with anything but focus on his career. And the fact that he's latched on to Debbie really bugs me.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't want to work any other jobs because Jimmy's like, what did you do in Egypt? Like, were you a full-time actor or did you have another side hustle? And he had a side hustle. So these 20 credits that he has, it wasn't him saying, hey, I'm a full-time actor and my acting is paying my bills. Whatever it is, if these 20 were real, he still had to have a day job. And so the audacity of him to then not want to work. I know he can't work now, but moving forward, he expects Debbie to do everything, to support all the things, support his acting goals. So his goal is to not work at all and just study acting. And that means you're going to acting classes. Acting classes aren't free. So who's paying for that? Abby. Who's
Debbie.
paying for his housing? Who's paying for the gas in her car? Who's paying for the water and then the lights? I'm just trying. So he's just going to show up with his big dream to become a Hollywood actor and expect Debbie to pay for everything?
Yeah, basically.
Then
he's not running his con very well, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, at all. Lay it all out for us so we know exactly who you are, idiot. So he doesn't want to work, and he also asks Jimmy, he wants to leave New Orleans for Hollywood. And Jimmy looks at him, and when I say he read him for filth, that's basically what happened. Like, not everyone goes to Hollywood, and you're probably going to need to get a job, and it really is not that easy. But Mito's like, no, Debbie's going to pay for everything. I'll be fine. So acting class gets wrapped up. It's their first Halloween together in America. And Mito is taking it as his first acting role. So they dress up as a Pharaoh and Cleopatra, and they're going to go to a haunted house. And that's what they're doing. And Mito's very excited because he literally is like putting on a costume and thinking that he's taking a part. The drive there, he's super moody, and Debbie's a little bit concerned about it. She's like, listen, just be kind to my friends and be open to my friends. He's like, well, if your friends don't like me, I don't care. And I think that's a terrible thing. I think it's a terrible attitude to have right off the bat because you're setting up that meeting to go terribly because you're going to come with an attitude and first impressions are everything, and they're going to pick up on that vibe.
Right. But he's being honest. So she should take it for what it is. This person doesn't even have enough love for me to care about my friends and what their impression is of him. She's the one who's not willing to take it for what it is.
True. I mean, that's true too. I don't even know. Why are we here, Debbie? Why are we here? What is it that you're getting out of this relationship? Because you're not getting sex. You're not getting gifts. You're not getting attention. You're not getting love. You're not even getting companionship. So, like, please explain to me. It's like you're raising a rebellious teenager who hates you, and you're still doing stuff. Like, I don't understand what's happening here. It really bugs me. I need him to be just I need them to split up. You don't need to go home, but you need to get the hell out of Debbie's house. Okay. So they meet up with Debbie's friends. So it's Lauren and Jeff with one F, Astra and Derek. And they are at the city morgue haunted house. And Debbie hates haunted houses. The whole time she has her ears covered. Mito thinks he's part of the cast, and so he's extra animated in there. Really feels like he's part of the show. And her friends pick up on it. Her friends are like, at the end of it, they're like, you know what? He spent zero time being with Debbie and like cuddling and spending time with her, and all into the cast and what was going on in the experience. And when he comes out, he said, yeah, I had a great experience. And the friends think it's weird because it's like, are you putting on an act? Because now he's not even interacting with them. He's just like standing there saying, yeah, I had a really good time. And so now they're questioning if he came here just for his acting career, or does he really want to be with Debbie? And we all know the answer to that. We all know the answer to that. They get in the car. They were going to go for drinks after. And it's an awkward, and you know what, Abby? Here's what you're not ever about to do. You're not ever about to make me feel uncomfortable in my own vehicle. That's never going to happen. I will pull over in a heartbeat. You're not going to make me feel uncomfortable. And I'm driving you somewhere. Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
no. So they have this awkward car. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I need you to help me with this part because I didn't understand how this devolved into an argument. So, like when you're going through, help me because I was like, wait a minute, why did this turn into a huge debacle?
Okay, so they're in the car. It's silent. So you starting off with someone who's super animated. I had such a great time, all the things. And then you guys are going to go to a next secondary location and get some drinks. Meanwhile, your friends are meeting your fiance for the very first time. One of them is catching a ride with you. In there, you would think that there'd be some small talk, get to know you, since you were already in this little interactive thing. So there was no one-on-one. So there could be some one-on-one, especially if these are your best friends. But it was awkward car ride because he didn't talk. He had a stank face, and all he was doing is turning on his phone and watching videos. And so if that was you, Abby, how would you even want to interact with someone that you're just meeting? It's sounding to me like you want some alone time. You don't want to even interact with any of these people. Then when you pull up to the spot, you all get out, and he just sits there and says, give me a minute, and doesn't get out. Give me a minute is the only thing he says on the whole car ride. And as soon as you get there, he's not even getting out. He's going to sit in his car or sit in your car. Absolutely not. So she goes to the restroom. She comes back and she's frustrated. And she's like, I want to talk. And he's like, what do you want to talk about with an attitude? He's like, because I'll go home. I left everything. And this is a thing that he wants to threaten every time. I'll go home. I left everything. So you should just do everything for me. Don't question me. Don't try to say that I'm doing anything wrong, because everything I do is right. And you should just do everything that I want you to do, period, full stop, because I'm a prima donna actor.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So because he wasn't open to having a conversation with her on how rude he's being, not only to her, but to her friends that he just met. And in addition, he started raising his voice at her, and she said, you're not going to yell at me. And then says to him, what are you doing here? Because it doesn't even seem like you love me. It doesn't even seem like you like me. And he doesn't. He says to her, shut your mouth. And that's when it set her off. And she's like, oh no, you need to get out of here, get in an Uber, book a flight, and get a ticket home. And this fool had the audacity, you guys, to tell her to book his flight home. That's how much he's using her. He said, you book my flight home. She gets out of the car to go to her friend Astra. And in the meantime, he continues to say, shut your mouth. And Astra was not having it. And Astra is a girl's girl. Astra is like, first of all, what you're not about to do is you're not about to talk to my friend like that. Do you normally talk to my friend like that? Because in America, that's not cutting it. You do not talk to women like that. Don't talk to me like that. As he started to raise his voice at her, what you're not about to do is talk to me crazy. Absolutely not. Then he turns to Astra and says, shut your mouth to Astra. And then calls Debbie the B word. Oh, I thought there were going to be hands flying somewhere. This fool has lost his mind.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I guess I was missing the part when she first came back from the car, because when she first came back from the bathroom, because I was like, I don't understand how this turned into a huge fight. Okay. Got it.
He didn't talk. He wanted to pout. He wanted to say, shut your mouth. And it was on and pop in. That part, Becca, I will never understand these broke-ass men who call themselves provider or the head of the house. That part. I saw a video today, you guys, and I was like, why are you women putting up with this? Basically, this dude didn't have a job, so he was door dashing, but he was door dashing with his girlfriend's car. The girlfriend asked if he would start to help pay the car payment because he's using the car more than her, and he friggin' just completely lost his mind. He lost his mind that he crashed out for like at least 3 minutes. Why? I get, support your man, do all the things, but like you gotta peep a bum where there's a bum.
Yeah.
You gotta peep a loser where there's a loser. You gotta peep someone who really is not trying to do anything, but is doing all the motions in order to try to abracadabra you into thinking he's doing something and he's not. You guys know, just to say that you have a man, nothing is worth it to me.
No. You guys, you got to start being honest with your friends too, because there's a lot of women out there, and I know you know some of them, who call themselves stay-at-home moms, but they actually have like 3 or 4 different side hustles. They're actually the main provider of finances in that house, but they call themselves stay-at-home mom in order to raise the ego of their spouse, and support his provider fantasy, his fantasy that he's the provider of the household. They call themselves stay-at-home mom, but they're on TikTok all day long, on live, trying to sell products. They're running an Etsy shop. They're baking from home and selling it in front of the house. Like, tell them what they're doing. Like, be honest, because there are too many women in the world who are fully supporting bums and just letting them have the ego of being the quote unquote head of the household.
Absolutely not. I'm just telling you, absolutely not. There is no situation where I have to say I have a man that's a bum man just to say I have a man. I would rather be single and happy houring and traveling with my girlfriends and having a good old time than to sit around and lie about a bumster. No, thank you. All right. Anything else to add?
That's it for Mito and Debbie. And we kind of know how this is going to go, but the fact that it goes any further than this, ridiculous.
Listen, Debbie, you immediately need to account for what you're thinking right here, because we all just don't get it. We need to understand what it is you think you're getting out of this relationship, because it's not love.
It's not even a facade. Like, some people are in it for the facade of pretending we have a happy relationship, and we post on social media together and we hashtag, first love, black love, whatever, like you're not getting the facade. You're not getting the financial assistance. You're not getting the romance. You're not getting the sex. Like, what exactly is it, Debbie? Because we want more for you.
Facts. Becca said her daughter better be at the tell-all because we have questions.
I have questions for her daughter. I have a question for her daughter. The children on 90 Day Fiance are usually the reasonable people. But the fact that her daughter facilitated this hookup, I got questions for you, girl.
The audacity. Listen, we have questions for sure. Moving on to Shay and Annabelle.
Ugh.
Now, I don't, okay, you guys, I'm not sure what emotion I'm feeling, but I don't hate Shay. I don't hate him. I'm going to use Crystal words. I think he's dusty. And because I think he's dusty, I don't understand why he gets all the action. Like, I just don't understand why he is considered a prize. And when is it that men are the prize nowadays? Like, am I an upside down world? I don't understand this at all. But Annabelle and Shay have 87 days to get married. She's mad at him because he basically admitted that he has been cheating. He calls it quote unquote flirting. And he, as a grown ass 54-year-old, says he doesn't really know the difference between cheating and flirting. He doesn't know the difference, Abby. So it's in the morning. She's mad cleaning, like mad while cleaning. And she's ignoring him because she wants the truth. She wants to really know, like, did you cheat? Who did you cheat with? When did you cheat? All the things that you want to know about cheaters. That's what she wants to know. And so she is giving him, now you guys, I get being mad at people, but like, I've just never been a silent person type of thing. I know my mom tells me that I talk too much. Granted, that's fine. But I believe in communication. If you're mad at someone, talk through the madness and get through it rather than, and even if you have to take a beat and then go back and communicate, but silent treatment, your problem's still going to be there until you talk about it. So like, why waste time? But that's just me. She wants to know if he had sex with someone else, and he says no. And he said it too quickly that I don't believe him. She wants to know what he did. And this is what he says, Abby, that I know that he's a liar. He says, I just don't remember. What I want you guys to understand about gaslighting is this. Okay. This is a typical example of gaslighting. He knows exactly what he's done. He just doesn't want to admit it. So he's going to say he doesn't remember. And then he's going to blame the alcohol. Now, alcohol, do people get super like faded and drunk and pass out and don't remember? Yeah, I mean, that happens, but does it happen every single time? I mean, I don't know. Does it? And does it happen to the point where you don't remember anything that you've done? Not anything? Because that's scary to me. If you don't remember if you were sexual with someone because you were so drunk, because we're like, we can get into like permissions and all of that stuff. But you're just going to say that you just don't remember. You don't remember. Gotcha. So instead, he says that some lady that he had been drinking with got breast augmentation, and because he liked that, he wanted to see it, so he said she showed him. But that's it. That's all that happened. Nothing else happened.
But also, he doesn't remember.
But also, he doesn't remember. Hey, Tina. Tina says, blame it on the alcohol. Yeah, that part. So not only is he gaslighting her, right? He's saying, I don't remember. No, that didn't happen. But if it did happen, I still don't remember if it happened. And oh, I was drinking. Oh, there was no touching. Then gaslighting and then diminishing her feelings. He then says, you're overreacting. Let me tell you this. When men say you're overreacting, it irritates me to my core. Because she was literally just sitting there. Nowhere in her whole situation, in her whole face, in her whole responses was she overreacting. Okay. So you're diminishing her, calling you out, and then you're trying to belittle her because you don't want her to call you out further because you're a liar and you're lying to her face and you're gaslighting her. So even if she was overreacting, do you see how I raised my voice there? That's like overreacting. She's overreacting to the gaslighting and the lying.
Right. Right. You guys, there is another option available, and you can take it. She's going down the path of, I want to get more information. When you're dealing with somebody like Shay, you don't need more information. You could just hang it up. This person doesn't respect you in the way that you should be respected. They don't love you in the way that you should be loved. Go ahead and leave. You don't need to know the details in order to leave.
There you go. There you go. Take those words of wisdom, or be with Shay types of people. And Shay says, not only is Annabelle overreacting, but he doesn't feel like it's cheating. Right? Because cheating and flirting, same.
Right.
And he's going to prove to everyone that he's innocent. Why do you need to prove you're innocent if you didn't do anything? Do you see how if you just really, men will tell on themselves. If you just listen to their words, listen to what they're saying, they will tell on themselves. So there's nothing to prove if you didn't do anything, right? And especially if you don't remember, then why do you need to prove your innocence? But that's what he's going to do. And he wants to make sure that you all know that when he gets drunk and flirts, cheats, because same, it's all just fun because it's a party. So what does he say he's going to do? Well, he has arranged for Annabelle, his daughter Allison, because his daughter and him have this weird relationship, right? And Angie, who's the woman that his friend, like best friend's daughter, he's been hanging out with Angie, and they have some weird connections. So there's a lot of weird women situations going on around him. He's going to put those three women together, even though Annabelle knows about Angie doesn't like her and doesn't even like Allison yet because Allison's not making her feel welcome. Allison is actually, like Annabelle is a competitor, her competition.
Right.
So Annabelle is like, why would I want to go and hang out with them? That doesn't make sense. But she goes because her alternative was to stay at the house and be mad at Shay and look at his face, his lying face. So she goes. They get to the salon, and the first thing that I thought, do you think this was a thoughtful question, Abby, or do you think it was a question meant to degrade her and make it seem like now that she's in America, she has more like privileges? When Allison asked, do you get your nails done in the Philippines?
I did not think of it as degrading. I was thinking of it as what is part of your self-care routine? Like, what do you normally do? Would have been equivalent questions for me. But it's very possible that she had some kind of xenophobia or nefariousness behind it. But when I heard the question, I didn't feel that way.
Okay. Knowing what I know of Allison, I felt like she was doing it in a way was like, oh, this is a privilege that my dad is also spending more money on. Do you do this for yourself, or something that my dad is also spending money on you? That's the vibe I got from her, just given the history that she's given thus far. She also asks, what's going on with you? You seem like a little mad. And Annabelle's open and honest. She says, Nicole, who is Shay's ex-wife, which that's a whole weird thing because they're married for like a month. Nicole said that your dad is having a secret relationship with Angie, and she straight out asked Angie, are you having a relationship with my future husband? Angie denies it. Did you believe Angie?
I didn't believe Angie. There was a little bit of a look there, unless that was production. I didn't believe her.
I didn't believe her either. I think that she was surprised that
Annabelle was direct.
so direct to her. And so she lied. So she denies it. There's nothing between us. We're just friends, which is a whole weird thing because given like that's your dad's best friend and that's your, like, it's weird. What's happening here? I don't believe it either. Live chat, what do you guys think? If you're watching the replay, do you think that there's something going on between Shay and Angie? Let us know. Annabelle goes on to say, well, your dad admitted that last month he cheated on me. He kissed another woman and another woman showed her boobs. And so he's cheated. And Allison was surprised that her dad even admitted anything. She's like, I know my dad loves you. And even though he doesn't have the best track record, he talks highly of you. But in the same breath, Abby, she said, but I've watched my dad lie for years about who's over at the house, how much he has had to drink, what he's been doing, just lie after lie after lie after lie. And my question to you guys is, how do you build a foundation on lies? How do you build a long-term relationship on lies? And then my question to you, Abby, is long-distance relationships are hard as it is, right?
Mhm.
So 90 days, when you find out things about your partner that maybe you didn't know, or they had been lying the whole time because you were long distance, what is the percentage of people that decide that, hey, I'm not going to do this, and they turn around and go home? Do you know?
I do not know the percentage. We did see this on 90 Day Fiance with Justin. His real name was not Justin. That was just what his fiance called him. But they had a situation where she had petitioned for him years ago. They failed before they split up before they got to wedding period. And he returned to his home country. And then years later, they reunited and did the 90-day process again. So it does happen.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no penalty against you by immigration if you decide this is not working out for me and I want to return to my home country. There's absolutely no penalty for that. So it's fine. You're not stuck. You do not have to continue on in that relationship, and you should never feel that way. Um, in this situation, my thing that was interesting to me from, I guess, like a sociological perspective is, how do you have a good relationship with a parent that you know is a liar?
Because she's a liar too. Liar recognizes liar and can relate to the liar. That's why.
Okay. That does make sense. But I don't think it would work any other way.
No, absolutely not. But toxic recognizes toxic, and that's why it works out for them. Hey, Blue Panda, I think there's something going on between him and every woman in Kentucky. Ew.
At least every woman in Paducah, it seems like.
The daughter knows that what her dad's been doing, and is observing everyone lie for him to keep the facade. Angie strings him along and milks the money, but doesn't put out. She monetizes his attention.
Maybe it's that. And what did the girl say? Spin that.
Spend that, spend that, spend that. Listen, I put that on my Spotify playlist, and that's how there's a mix where they have Fantasia's song mixed into it. It's all, you guys, you got to see it. It's like wild. I was like, what am I listening to? Okay. Anything else before I move on?
That's it.
Edward and Marissa.
Yikes.
Overall thoughts.
My overall thoughts are, I really truly feel sorry for Edward.
You feel sorry for Edward?
I really truly feel sorry for Edward. I mean, who wants to be in a relationship and feel like you're squashed under somebody's thumb?
Why do you feel sorry for him? Turn around and go home. No one's forcing him to be there. He's not locked in a dungeon or a cage. He's there for a reason. He has his own reasons. And why he's sticking it out, because he wants to be the kept man. He wants to, listen, I have nothing against Edward. Get on your scam and do your thing. But like, what I'm not about to do is feel sorry for you. You're playing the long game, just like Louise did with
Molly.
Molly. You are. Do
I think Edward is far from a Louise type. No?
you want to wager?
Did we ever see Louise care about Molly?
Mhm.
Even in the beginning?
Yeah, we did. Go back and watch those episodes. He was this. Edward is Louise 2.0. Period. Who agrees with me? Who agrees with me? I know a lot of y'all
Yes.
don't agree with me, but I'm gonna tell
Raise
you
your
this.
hand.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. Mark my words, on July 1st, 2026, I told y'all that he was Louise 2.0. Period. So, because he's 32, no one's keeping him there. No one is forcing him to be with the drill sergeant. No one is forcing him to do anything. This fool has never been on a plane. He never has left his country. Now all of a sudden he's gotten on a plane. He's living in a big house. He doesn't have to work. He's all on the phone telling his back home family, yeah, I'm about to milk this woman for the money. I'll send some of it back to you. I got you. I got you. As soon as he gets to New York City, because New York's not that far away and her business is in New York City, and she has an apartment. Y'all, what? Okay. But no, you feel sorry for him. We feel sorry for him. I don't. Marissa asked him to help her make dinner. He's on the phone, so he gets off the phone real quick and says she's bossy. She tells him how to cut up the potatoes, like Darcy used to tell what's his face to cut the meat on the bias and all the things. Like, that's it. We've been here, done that, all the things. They're having dinner with the kids, Cole and Derek, and Marissa talks about how, there's a lot of things I've already mentioned that Edward hasn't done. He also has never seen snow before. He's never been skiing before. All the things that he's never done. Where, I mean, I get it, right? He just probably has not been able to have those type of opportunities. I get it. But the dinner's awkward because he's looking at the kids looking at him, and he's kind of forcing conversation with them. And they're children, right? Like, just be yourself and they'll come around. But like, forcing weird conversation is just going to make the whole thing awkward,
Mm-hmm.
which is what happened. And he's feeling it. And he's like, we have these next 90 days to figure out what these family boundaries are and what my role is as the stepfather. And I think that's the first thing you need to do. I need you to think outside of that. You've already said in your mind you're the stepdad, and the reason you're putting such weight on that is because deep in your heart you still want to have kids. And if you guys remember a couple episodes back where he said he had to decide whether he wanted to be, quote, with the love of his life, or he wanted to find someone else and have kids like he really wanted. So he chose to be with, quote, the love of his life, which he's going to resent. And the fact that he is now putting so much pressure on the situation as stepdad so that he can get the dad experience that he actually really wants is why he's putting so much pressure and so much importance in this situation. And that's what, and the kids feel that, kids are they sense everything. They can feel that. And that's why they're a little like, ooh, what's going on here? We just met you. If he just chills out and be himself and just be, hey, 32-year-old Edward, they'll come around if they like you. So he also did something that I just like, kids play a joke on him, a whole spider joke. Spider comes out, he jumps, and then he plays a magic trick with them. And basically it's what do I have in each hand? Each hand was $50 for each of the sons. But Derek is like, no, thank you. I don't need it. And Edward took offense to that. What were your thoughts on that, Abby?
I think this was a cultural issue, because that would be something that was really well received where he's from. It's a cultural issue that I actually ran into because When I was living in Mexico and we went out trick-or-treating, the kids were asking me for money and I didn't understand, like, what are they asking for money for? But there are a lot of things that people in those cultures, money is the gift for that we don't use money as the gift. We don't use money as the magic or the, you know what I mean? Like the way that money is used is very, very different.
I agree it's a cultural thing. I do think he did it too soon. I think that it came across like he was trying to buy their love and attention, and down to the reasons I just talked about for 5 minutes. So yes, it's a cultural thing, but also too, it's him trying to remind them and show them his love by buying it because he really does want to be their stepdad. So I think it was unfortunate and just mistimed. So it's the next day. The family is getting up to do errands and such. The sons are going to the dad's house, and I laughed my butt off. So this was a power move by Derek. They get to the car, Derek's sitting in the front seat, and Edward has to sit in the back seat. And I just thought Derek is not letting off the brakes. He's like, this is my house. This is my mom. This is what I'm about to do. And what are your thoughts on that, Abby? Because either you address it now or that's how it's going to be.
I mean, I think it's fine that Derek wanted to have the front seat. I think it's great that Edward was flexible enough to sit in the back, but I also don't understand why Edward had to go to the exchange.
Why, Edward, what?
Why did Edward have to go to the exchange?
Maybe she doesn't trust him alone in the house yet.
Oh, maybe that's true. Yeah. But I think it's okay to be flexible about things like that. I also think it would have been okay if he said, "Hey, do you mind if I sit up in the front with your mom?"
I was raised by Africans. That's all I'm going to say here. I'll leave it at that.
I mean, my kid did not sit in the front seat until probably the dang teen years. So that would have been weird for me to have them in the front seat. But whatever. That's
I was raised by Africans. Edward does ask the kids in the car, how do you feel about me being here? And Derek said, they feel good. I think it's too soon to ask the kids that. And again, I think he's pushing his stepdad agenda on them and they're just not ready. I think that you have to give it more time because it literally has only been days. And Edward is feeling that. He's feeling like it's hard to find his place in not only the family's life, but Marissa's life specifically, because Melissa is very... did I say Melissa?
You said Marissa.
Okay,
well,
good.
I heard Marissa.
Okay, so Marissa's very regimented and detailed in what she likes and what she doesn't like. So that's going to be a point of contention between the two of them. So she's already irritated with him. So she's driving him. They're in the car. They've dropped the kids off. And she says, listen, I'm already irritated with a few things. You're always on the phone and you're not present with me. And I've only known you as relaxed time, Edward. And so you're relaxing, I'm working. And I need you to not be like the extra kid, because that's how I feel, is like I have an extra kid. And I need you to be an adult and present in the moment. And here's the thing that Abby and I have stressed to you, and it's your own fault, Marissa, because we tell all our ladies, you leave vacay bay on vacay.
Mm-hmm.
If you are especially a woman of means like Marissa, where you can go every couple of months, then just do that. What you're not about to do is then complain and say, this is what she said, that she's never seen him productive because they were always on vacation.
Right, Marissa. So what does that naturally conclude for you? There's no reason for her to be mad at him that he's not being productive, because number one, there's no job for him to go to. And number two, you just told us you never seen him do that.
You never seen him do it, but then you decided that you're gonna marry him. What you're not about to do then is gonna be irritated and nag and complain about something you've never seen, because
Right.
he's done that. He's never said he's productive, and you wanted to marry him anyways.
Right.
Boo. Anything else you want to add before I move on to this last couple?
Let's go. Paola and Thomas.
Your thoughts on this couple? I don't understand them. I don't understand what's happening with this couple. I'm sure they love each other, but maybe I just don't see it. So maybe Abby, you can shed some light.
I will be shedding no light. I will be saying, I will be saying, this couple is so weird for me because there'll be moments where I feel like they are so compatible and I understand them being together. And then there's like huge swaths where I do not understand how they can stand to be in the same house with each other.
And like, can we even call that a house? It's like a dorm room.
Well, yeah, like whatever it is that he's living in. Like, I see her doing things to accommodate him and being very happy to do those things. And I'm like, oh, this, like, she really cares about him. He cares about her. He appreciates her. And then, like, something huge will happen where he just, like, completely disregards her spiritual beliefs. And I'm like, okay, how's that going to work?
I don't get it. I saw it. So you guys remember when he was at the airport, he had the flag, he made her special vegan food, all the thoughtful, like Abby just said. I thought that is what this whole relationship was going to be like, but they have fundamental differences that they're fundamentally different. And so I don't understand what's going on here. So they have their first night. She has a bunch of nicknames for him that I just thought were hilarious. She calls him Chabino, Teddy Bear, and Refrigerator. All of those are not necessarily flattering, at least in my mind. I don't know. Someone call me Chabino and a refrigerator. I don't know. I don't know. They had a great night. The food situation, they had a whole fight on this food situation. I'm not really sure what the fight was about. Basically, she's a vegan. She for years has had, quote, no animal interaction, but then they both want to make each other breakfast because I guess they think they're being adorable. So he makes her tofu mushroom toast and she makes some eggs, but she makes a big production about it. She can't stand the smell. She wants a bandana. She literally puts like a whole mask on her face, industrial mask on her face. We find out that he lives like a paleo lifestyle because as a child, he was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. I wish they would explain that more because now I'm gonna have to look at it. I just don't know what the correlation was with the vegan and the eggs and the paleo. Like, you should explain that to the audience. You're just saying a bunch of stuff. And then at the end of it, the takeaway was she didn't want to make the eggs because she didn't want to be by animal products. Okay. Then the other part, like, is it spiritual? Is it universe, manifestation? I wasn't sure what was going on here, but she wanted to do like a pseudo prayer before they ate. And this couple too is also like sitting on the floor on like cinder blocks. And he tries to gaslight her into saying that it's good for yoga and stretching and that she wants to be flexible. But that's definitely just not what I'm seeing here. And again, I don't get it. So if you guys get it, please explain it to me. But in her moment of gratitude, she started crying. And they were tears of happiness, Abby, because she is grateful for America because she has visualized and manifested this her whole life. And if you guys remember, she specifically said that she wanted to marry a white American gringo. And so here she is with her gringo even though they're fundamentally different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So she feels emotional about this, but grateful for everything they are building together. And when she said that they were building something together, again, I was confused because all you guys have done so far is argued and not come to any type of consensus in how you're going to move forward. You don't
Right.
want to cook meat, but he literally has a meat dryer and tells you that paleo is his lifestyle. Then there's this whole perfume fiasco that happens. It looked essential oilish. I don't know. It was a small little bottle. She alleges that she put 2 drops on. He freaks out, runs out of the apartment. He's allergic to, quote, artificial perfumes. What's an artificial perfume?
Yeah. Is he talking about like, oh, if you just take some berries and smash them on your skin, that's fine, that's natural? Because wouldn't all perfumes be artificial?
I had questions. I was like, what is an artificial perfume? Because all perfumes are scents that are mixed together. Okay.
And if you have this strong of a reaction to perfume, doesn't that mean that other things in life also about like other smells also bother you?
I mean,
Like
let's talk.
other chemical smells?
I mean, exactly. Exactly. And she was in the bathroom, you were in the other room, 2 drops, but you smelt it. And basically, you guys, he got super mad. He was basically the perfume or me. If you keep doing this, I'm literally going to move out of the apartment. She thought he was exaggerating and started mocking him, but he was serious. And said, quote, if this place, because you've put this perfume on, is not safe for me, I can't stay here. Y'all, when he used all these big buzzwords, not safe for you, as if it is like, what is the did I miss something? Did I miss something? Because you just said you were allergic. Couldn't a little, like, I don't know, what is the allergy stuff that you guys have? The Zygon.
A little Claritin, a little Sudafed, a little.
Can you just a little and call it a day? It's not
Mm-hmm.
safe for you. So he goes on to super glue her perfume clothes. Now, let me tell you something, okay? Being a woman is not cheap, okay? And beauty products are not cheap at all. They're just not. Go and try to get like a standard, not even high-end perfume. Just get a standard perfume. You're looking at $50 at least. So you are not about to crazy glue anything closed as a resolution to conflict. That's what you're not about to do.
No. And super glue also has a pretty strong smell.
Right. So what is it? What artificialness are you allergic to? I don't
That
know.
was really bizarre. I mean, like the only real conclusion I can draw from it, and I think that Olivia said it down here, is this is just a controlling, dominating move. There's simply no reason for him to have gone that far.
Yep. Agreed. Agreed. Uh oh, here, Olivia. She owns a successful jewelry business in Brazil. She's also a tattoo artist. She lived well in Brazil and she's 10 years older than him and he can't meet her needs. I don't know. It's giving controlling vibes based on his insecurities. You might not be wrong. I don't know, you guys. All these couples are problematic, all in a different way. But what I am learning is the standards in America are just so all over the place.
They are. You know, the other thing that we see a lot of in these shows is, we haven't seen it with Edward as far as I can tell, is the men will let their egos ruin good things. They will let their egos and their inability to refrain from, you know, acting on their emotions. They will let it ruin their lives.
I'm gonna end the show on this.
Exactly.
Okay.
Not a single cough, not a single nothing. Nothing. It was just, uh-oh, she's doing something she enjoys. I gotta stop that.
That's it. And on that note, you guys, happy Canada Day, happy Hump Day. We will be back shortly. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and head on over to our personal pages if you want to know what we're up to, because we're up to a lot of stuff, you guys. Until then, toodaloo.
Toodaloo, ta-ta for now. Bye-bye.
She said not a single